Many analysts have argued that corruption is one of the factors responsible for Nigeria's underdevelopment. Former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), Malam Nuhu Ribadu, in 2008 was quoted as saying that Nigeria's former leaders allegedly stole 64 trillion naira from the public coffers. A case in mind is the recent arrest of the former Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, who is being accused by the EFCC of stealing over 160 billion naira from the public treasury. At an event in Abuja for the commemoration of the 2022 African Anti-Corruption Day, the General Overseer, Palace of Praise Assembly, Igbuzor, lamented the rising cases of corruption involving public officials, urging Nigerians to shun and speak up against the menace.
The bad thing in corruption, that people will not even, if you set up a committee to advise on prerogative of mercy, that people will not even have the courage to submit such names. We need the whole of society, the media, the entire society, Christian and everybody, to see corruption as it is, that it is bad, and that everyone should be against it and not endorse it. That is the only way. The entire citizen has to have ownership of the anti-corruption movement. But then, otherwise, if you see have snippets of people who don't believe in it, then they can make suggestions to president, and then we have the kind of thing.
There are some people who actually believe that corruption is part of the African culture, and we beg to say no, it is not true. Corruption happens within the human race, it's not an African thing. But as Africans, we acknowledge the fact that it's been a huge problem in our part of the world, as it is also a problem in other parts of the world. But we are taking responsibility and saying it is not in our nature as Africans to be corrupt. So anybody who wants to promote that idea that corruption is an African thing, it's an opportunity for us to reject it and say no.
Also speaking on the same issue, the chairman FCT chapter, the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, Isaac Komolafe, attributed the cause of corruption to greed, advising Christians to obey the word of God.
So we want to speak to the Christians that we have a role to play in fighting this. How? By obeying the word of God. By, as we say, if we say we love our God with all our heart, let us also love our neighbors. That's as simple as that. If we're able to carry on with this, loving our neighbors, what is meant for all of us, what is meant for all of us, one individual should not take it and then feel comfortable. That is corruption.
Heads of state and governments of the African Union (AU) in 2011 declared July 11 every year as the African Anti-Corruption Day to assess the progress made on combating the menace in the continent. Basil Okafor, Core TV News, Abuja.